everyone, welcome back. Welcome freaking back. As you guys can see by the title and the thumbnail of this video, we're doing another wrap up and another TBR. I don't know how this year is flying by. I feel like I literally just filmed one of these yesterday. And no, that was a whole month ago. So, without further ado, let's get into this video. So, as always, but if you guys are new here, I always do what I read first and then I will talk about my TBR after. So let's get into the books that we read in November. So the first book that we read in November was Stay by Elle Kennedy and Sarina Bowen. I loved this so much. This was such a fluffy, cute hockey romance, and you guys have heard me say it many times at this point, but during hockey season, me and a hockey romance are like this. So it just made it even better that it's hockey season, but this was so sweet. This one, basically, I have this in another video, so I'm not going to dive too much into what goes on in this book. But basically our main female character, she works at a online service to help celebrities get things done without their identity being known. And our main male character, he is a very famous hockey player, and he uses the online service that our main female character works at. And so they hit it off online and something crazy happens and she ends up having to go help him personally, which is where our relationship blooms. So it's just overall such a fantastic book. We rated this 5 stars. It was so sweet, so fluffy. Like I said, I enjoyed every single second of this book. Could not have been any better. Then the next book that we read and hyperfixated on in November was ACOWAR. We did finally finish this one. It took me so long to do this reread, but I talk about rereads a lot on my channel. I like to focus really hard whenever I'm doing a reread because I am discovering new things and noticing things that I missed the first time I read it, so I took a bit longer to read this the second go round than I did the first time, but we obviously rated this a 5 star. I'm not going to dive too much into this. There's no videos on my channel, but I've talked plenty of times about ACOWAR series, and yeah, 5 stars. Then we read Funny Feelings by Tarah Dewitt, or Tarah Dewitt. Pretty sure it's Tarah though. I talked about that in the video that I had reading this book, and it is in this video as well. I believe both of these are in the same video. But this book was so sweet. Oh my goodness, this one was so sweet. Yeah, so this one follows Farley and what was his name? Meyer. Farley and Meyer, and Farley is an up-and-coming comedian, and Meyer is I don't want to say washed up comedian because that's not true. Everyone still knows who he is and everyone still asks him for photos and everything, but he doesn't really do shows anymore. That's not who Meyer is. Meyer decided to start a family. But he is Farley's manager, and this story was so sweet to read about. I enjoyed every second of this book. We rated this one a 5 star. This book was so good. So good. Then we read Truth or Beard by Penny Reid. You guys, this book was fantastic. I literally could not have found a better book to read in November. This was not set in like Christmas time, it wasn't anything like that, but this book was so fluffy and cozy and sweet that yeah, I just literally cuddled up on the couch and read, like I zoomed through this book. It was such a bingeable book. I loved it so much, and I did talk about in my Can I Finish My November TBR video that I was going to see if Penny Reid made her way onto a favorite author list, and let me just say that lady has done it. I am quite literally obsessed with the way that Penny Reid writes. I did not at one point feel like the book was dragging on or something that was happening in the book felt irritating. That never happened to me. I loved this. We rated Truth or Beard a 5-star. This one follows childhood best friends. This was so sweet, but it is the childhood best friends are twins and then a separate female. So she, on the back, I did say in the Can I Finish My November TBR video, back the blurb says falling for the wrong twin never felt so good. So, yeah, 5-star, fantastic. I loved this book. I loved this book. And then we read A Christmas Return by Anne Perry. This one was a holiday mystery, a Victorian mystery. It was so good, and I read this in like 2 hours, I think. It literally took me less than a full day to read this. There was only 176 pages, I think. We rated A Christmas Return 3 stars. Since it was so short, I felt like we could have focused a little bit heavier on some things that were going on in this book, and instead of that, it felt like we just decided to disregard it, and so I didn't really like that. But overall, it was an enjoyable book. It's not that I had like a bad time. I just wish that shorter books like this had a bigger reveal, I guess you could say, especially for a mystery. I just really wanted a better reveal, and that just didn't happen. And then the last book that we read in November was Unsteady by Peyton and Corinne. That book was fantastic. Fantastic. That one follows a figure skater and a hockey player, and both of them are going through some things. Both of them are having issues with their sports. They're having a hard time loving their sport and figuring out why they are doing what they're doing and why they let things happen. And Reese, our main male character, had a horrible accident, so he is going through some issues because of that accident. And then our main female character, she is having some family issues, so she's going through that while also trying to be a Olympic figure skater. So yeah, that book was fantastic. We rated that one a 5-star as well. I loved the slow burn of that book because the slow burn felt so necessary for our character's development. I feel like if our relationship between the two had happened any quicker than it did, the overall story, the overarching story of this book would not have hit as hard as it did because of the slow burn of the story. It really added to the character development, and I loved it a lot. I usually don't really jam with a horribly slow burn, but this one just felt right. So it was just overall great. Like I said, rated it a 5-star. So good. Now let's get into the books that we want to read in December. I'm going to give you all the Kindle books first, and then we will go into the physical books. So I did not get to Good Spirits by B.K. Borison in November. It was on my November TBR, but it was not available, or is not available on Kindle Unlimited. So I need to borrow it at the library. So we're going to try to read that again this month. And then we are getting back into some Laurie Gilmore reads because it is Christmas time. So we are going to be reading The Christmas Tree Farm and The Gingerbread Bakery. Yeah, The Gingerbread Bakery. Sorry, that took me a second. So I'm super excited to jump back into some Laurie Gilmore books. There's a few videos on my channel where I have binged some Laurie Gilmore books and where Pinterest chooses what I read, and it just so happened to be a Laurie Gilmore book. And let me just say, Laurie Gilmore has, for sure, made her way onto my favorite author list. She is another new author for me this year, so it is just 10 out of 10. I love Laurie Gilmore, so now that it is snowing outside and there are at least 3 inches on the ground right now, it's time for some Laurie Gilmore reads. Then we are going to be reading Holiday Ever After by Hannah Grace. I have read Icebreaker, Wildfire, and Daydream by her. They are the hockey romances that she wrote, and I adored them. I love her writing. I love her characters. I love the way that she literally pulls me into her stories. I never feel like I'm reading. All of the words on the page disappear and it's just a movie in my head. So I really love Hannah Grace, and I'm super excited to be reading a Christmas book by Hannah Grace because as much as hockey season does kind of coincide with the Christmas season, Christmas romance books are just Christmas romance books, you know what I mean? Then we are going to be reading A Mistletoe Kiss by Catherine Walsh. I'm really excited about that one. I've not read any Catherine Walsh books and I've heard she's fantastic, so I just need to dip my toe in, you know, get some holiday romances out of the way, and what better time to do it than discovering a new author. So we are going to be reading A Mistletoe Kiss by Catherine Walsh, and the last Kindle book that we are going to be reading in December is 'Tis the Damn Season by Fiona Gibson. This one seems like it's going to be really cute, and let me just be so totally honest, it was the cover. It was the cover. The cover got me. But those are all of the Kindle books that we're going to be reading in December. We're going to try to read in December. So let's go in and talk about the physical books that I would like to read in December. If you guys are not yet following me on TikTok, make sure you head over there and do that, because over on TikTok, every single day, I am going to be reading an Advent chapter. These are 1 to 3 chapters per day. So I have been filming this over on TikTok. I will be putting a few of them up over here on YouTube, but most of this is going to be done on TikTok. So make sure you are following me over there. But we just read day 2 today because it is December the 2nd. So I'm already really enjoying this book, but it is Christmas Eve Love Story by Ginny Baird, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. Once again, another new author for me, but I know on my For You page on TikTok, this is all over it. Now, I could not find the wrapped pages. I cannot find them anywhere. So I went in and did some research and found out what chapters were separated and did it myself. I didn't give myself any spoilers. I literally slid a page in there and called it a day. But like I said, make sure you're following me over on TikTok because I will be filming this over there. Then I started this book last year, but I never finished it, and that is So This Is Christmas by Jenny Holiday. This one it just looks really sweet, and it's decently short, like 370 pages, 368 actually. But yeah, I tried to get to this last year and I don't remember what got in my way, but something did. So I'm really excited to pick this one back up again this year. This one follows Mateo and Kara, and Kara is there to try to help modernize the royal family, and Mateo is, do I want to say, a bodyguard for the royal family? That's kind of what I'm getting from like really quickly looking at the back of the book, because you guys know me, I don't like to read the back of books. So just from like really quickly looking at the back of the book, that's what I'm getting from this. Then I want to read One Day in December by Josie Silver. I picked this one up at a $5 fill-a-bag at the library, and it is once again gonna be a pretty quick, easy romance to read during Christmas time, 392 pages. And this one really looked super sweet. I love just the cover of this. Covers really get me during Christmas books. Like, Christmas books are very much so cover grabs for me. If a cover looks cozy and comfy, I'm gonna be grabbing for it. But this one follows Laurie and Jack. Yeah, Laurie and Jack, and also Sarah. But this one, basically what I have read from the back, our main female character, Laurie, she's on a bus, she sees a cute guy, definitely expects them to never meet again. She tries to find him because she wants them to be together. They find each other later, but he's with her best friend. I'm excited to read this one. Then the last physical book that I want to read in December is Trading Christmas by Debbie Macomber. Macomber? I'm pretty sure it's Macomber. But this one is like a widow leaving to go spend time with her daughter, and she ends up it gets so convoluted and it's kind of difficult to explain everything that is on the back of this book without just like reading you the entire thing. Yeah, so Emily goes to Boston and discovers that her daughter has gone to Florida, and our main male character, Charles, he arrives in Leavenworth and discovers that it's not the town that he wanted to go to. So Emily, her friend Faith, travels to Leavenworth to visit her, but finds Charles, and Charles' brother Ray goes to visit him, but finds Emily. That's so convoluted, but I did my best. So I'm really excited to read this one. I think it's gonna be really cute. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited to read that one as well. Now let's see if we can manage this. Oh, I did it. So these are all of the books that I read in November and all of the books that I intend on reading in November. Nope. These are all of the physical books that I read in November and all of the physical books I intend on reading in December. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you leave a comment downstairs. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.